So in this video, we're going to be breaking down a Iridescent game, a pretty high kill game, and it was pretty fast paced. So for the slower players, probably do not recommend with our playstyle, but with how we played it, you can definitely take these tips and apply them to your playstyle. So yeah, so just jumping in here, usually go for the most wanted or the signal contracts, the signal intelligence. They're the fastest way to get cash. Obviously most wanteds are a little bit more hot, as people usually are more likely to go for them, but those signal intelligences, they're a little less hot, and you can kind of get your loadout consistently all the time, as long as you aren't landing anywhere where there is going to be another most wanted near you or in a hot POI. So for them solo players, I would probably advise going for those signal intelligences, as they are a little bit better, and it does give you a lot of money. So off rip, I got a Tanto. I know I had the most wanted on me, but they're fighting a team that is just 4 and they only have pistols. They're not going to have any plates, no weapons, and they're just going to lose the fight, like, regardless. So just getting them out straight away is really important. Also, kills decrease the timer by quite a lot. So as you can see, the most wanted is pretty much all the way down, even though we haven't looted hardly anything. So right now we're just rotating straight away for our loadout as soon as we get the cash. Realistically, with the contracts, it's really helpful just to get enough for 2 loadouts. So you could just complete 2 contracts, or complete 1 and then loot up for the rest, depending on what part of the map you're on or what your situation's looking like. It really depends. And another tip with the loadouts, so there's a little bug that you can do. So with the what is it, the battle ready, that gives you a UAV and a munitions off rip. You can just grab your SMG, and then for your second loadout you can grab your 10 or 8 attachment gunfire and still get the UAV from it, which is super broken. So what you can do is just pop your UAV before you grab the next loadout, otherwise it will despawn the first one, and then you can just grab your 8 attachment AR. So I kind of messed up here. Of course, I was just distracted by my teammates, so I wasn't really locked in. But I exposed myself for way too long. In this game, the meta is just super broken, and the TTK is super fast. So trying to just play cover to cover, or trying to avoid putting yourself in these situations where you can get caught across, like I did there. Just keep that in mind. It's one of the most important things you could do in this game. And also, in those late games, it's even more advisable, or at least when Gulag closes. You honestly do not want to be dying, especially when there's like no buy stations anywhere. Like, there is always no buy stations, and it's really hard to get buy stations, the deployable ones, that is. The only way to really get deployable buy stations quickly or efficiently is care packages. They have a higher chance of dropping them. So that's the only tip I can give for those later zones. It's very helpful to even get streaks in those later games, to push a team out of a position, or just to cut off a rotate. So this is why that loadout thing is really important. You can just keep cash flow by just wiping teams that are getting loadout. Like, everybody off rip, they're not really gonna have loadout before you if you've done a contract fast. And if they do, they're hardly prepared, and they wouldn't have a advanced UAV. But with this fast tactic of being able to get an advanced UAV and double up on them, because you can just pop one, rotate to a team, then pop the second one, and then kill the team. Then after that, you can just buy another loadout for 12.5k instead of spending 18k. Then pop another advanced and rotate towards another team. It's really repetitive, and it's not a very fun strategy to be using, but it's the most effective way, and it's super like busted. It's just, if you're not doing it, you should be doing it. And also recognizing where teams are on the map while you have the advanced up. So just check your minimap, see what teams are where. So after the advanced UAV runs out and you get another one, just, you know, if there's nobody on your side of the map, you can just save it fully. You can just save the advanced UAV and then wait until you get to a balloon or get to a place where there is people and then pop it, instead of just popping it straight away and then, you know, obviously not having anybody near you and then completely wasting an advanced UAV. Just making sure you're saving them and not wasting. It's really important. I did mess up here, like honestly not really that locked in because I'm just playing around with my team. We still have gulag and stuff and I'm very confident in my ability, so I'm not really stressing too bad. Right here I probably should have backed off, but I was kind of in an unkillable spot. They just hit some god nades on me and hit me out. I did spend a little bit too much time on these guys. But realistically though, you should never be doing what I was doing. Usually I'm the one making the play calls. They were just doing their own thing and we just got a little bit distracted and split. You want to make sure you're always within a radius between your teammates. Definitely. So I did die there, of course, like being split from your team and getting stacked out. It's just very, very difficult to 1v3, especially in ranked when people care that much. Of course, don't ever split from your team. Obviously, in that situation, I just got a little bit distracted and so did my teammates. So when you're dead and you're in gulag, you kind of want to make sure your team's kind of looking for a buy station just in case you do lose. Just trying to clear out a position and just hold it, especially in second zone. When you have about a minute or two until second zone closes and fire cell pops, you kind of want control. It's very, very important. And with the fire cell, obviously with the strat that I just told you guys about with the loadout, you can buy loads and loads of loadouts if you have enough cash. So usually you just pop one, pop your UAVs, and then pop another one, and then hold more UAVs. Or you can, if you have more cash than that, you can afford maybe 3 or 4 loadouts. You can make your teammates hold loadouts, and then after you obviously used all your UAVs, just popping another loadout and just holding them. It kind of makes you invincible, because you know a lot of people aren't going to be they're not going to have advanced UAVs later in the game. Obviously, when the fire cell pops, a lot of people are going to have UAVs. But after that period, you're going to be probably the only people on the map that have more loadouts to do the same thing. And honestly, doing what you can, when you can. It's also very important. Like, I needed a self-res, so I just saw a med kit there. Like, I'm going to open that and try and take my chances. Like, it's not going to hinder much of my time, and it's just... it could be game saving, and I'm pretty sure in this game it actually was. So just using your minimap, grabbing intel, seeing what fights are going to be easier depending on what position they're in and where you are and what you can take. So if you have like a balloon near you, you could rotate to the balloon and then fly on top of a team, or if you can't fly on top of a team, you just fly somewhere else where a team's rotating in the open or something. So like these guys, they were in a pretty bad spot and there's nobody else around them to third party us, so we could probably just fuck them up from here. Unfortunately though, they are cheating. Obviously, this is an issue that is very prominent in this Warzone. It's horrible, horrible, horrible. You just run into like pretty much one cheater every single game at least. So kind of your main priority is kind of getting them out before you leave them until later game. The best way to kill them though is honestly waiting for them to throw their lives, because all the cheaters, they're brain dead, they're shit at the game. That is why they're cheating. So what I'm doing now is literally picking them while they're crossing out in the open because they're stupid. And this I did multiple times this day. And once you have it down to the last person, you've made sure you remember the game tag of the guy who was cheating. Obviously, there could be multiple of them cheating, but just trying to get them out or wiped is so important. Like, even if it costs your life, you know, it's so worth it just trying to get them out. Like, otherwise it's just going to ruin your game later. Just making sure you're playing the headies in the position. If you put yourself on a good enough head glitch, the aimbot actually can't kill you. You know, like when I was playing on that rock, that guy was obviously locking onto me from there, but he wasn't hitting me because I was showing so little of me. So obviously using the information that I've got, obviously not just straight lining it and running straight at him, otherwise I could just throw my life here and completely ruin the game. So what I'm doing is just playing position to position, just playing a little bit slow, just trying to figure out where he actually is. And I do hear him stop running, so he can't really be that far away from me. Unfortunately, I do spot him. Also, another thing with what Echo just mentioned, ammo satchels, and there is also another satchel that isn't much different to what the ammo satchel looks like. So one of them will obviously stack your equipment, so you can have 4 smokes, 4 impacts or grenades. That is super broken and OP, so you can just pop like munitions and have 4 of each thing. Like if you have impact grenades, you can literally just nuke a team. But there's another one, I'm not sure what the vest is called, but it looks so similar to the ammo vest that is sort of like incomparable in a lot of ways. But when you hit your battle ready class, that will give you 2 UAVs instead of just 1. So obviously you should be popping your 2 UAVs, and then one of your teammates should be popping 1, just so when you get your battle ready again, you will pick up another 2 instead of obviously wasting 1. And also with this meta, you can take the most ridiculous 3-2-1s, just making sure your squad's all ready for the shots. You can just get free SR like out of the air, like all the time. So this kid here, it's so incredibly easy to shoot people out of the air. Just this meta is broken and the game is way too easy. Just playing position here. Gulag is closed. We have no buys, so this is where you should be slowing it down a lot. But it also is a very good thing. At the same time, obviously keeping a team cornered, giving them no rotate out, is really really important. Because of course, me and Echo were not going to wipe all 3 of them, but we were going to get them weak enough, or we were going to get 1 pick at least for her to get the kills in front of them. This is the thing that I just mentioned about the buys. It is completely chalked if one of your teammates die after Gulag. 90% of the time, there is just no buys in the zone, or they're in a really horrible position that can be hit out, or where like a team is just holding it, or they're just all out of zone. It just happens way too much, and there is hardly any double level buys. So I do mess up here, unfortunately. But this is what I said about looting. Obviously not wasting too much time on it, where your teammates are just going to run off and you're going to end up split and you may be costing the next fight. But of course, if you have the information that nobody's near, you can take that time. Just grab a little bit of loot, see if that you can get anything that help you in the later game. But that self-res completely saved me. Right there, we got a little bit too focused, but I was just listening to my teammate there. obviously if you have to rotate in, it's worth just getting into zone first and then holding the people. Obviously that guy wasn't really giving up much, so it wasn't a very good fight. We were just putting ourselves against gas, to obviously wait for him to jump off, and then letting another team in front of us just cut us off. But thankfully nobody did, but that most wanted definitely could have. Obviously what I was saying with the buys though, it's worth obviously trying, just seeing what the situation's looking like. But obviously in this situation, it's just completely fucked. I'm not gonna just straight line a buy station just in hopes that I can get her a res, because that honestly just doesn't result in anything. Obviously if she comes back, she won't get any guns, she won't have anything, and then what are we gonna do from there? She's gonna be down guns, down plates, and I'm gonna lose all my guns and I'm gonna die. Like, there's just no point. And obviously trying to be smart in those ender zones. Obviously don't want to get held out. We should have rotated a lot earlier, but we were just trying to figure out whether we could buy or not. But hitting under bridge here was the intelligent play. There was nowhere else we could have rotated. The team on top of the building would have just completely fucked us, and rotating up on the hill anywhere else was completely chalked. So in this situation, I knew all of our underground and obviously up by the ladder was fully clear. But going up the ladder is super fucked, because there's a team or two just fighting around there and they can hit the ladder, and it's a really long ladder to climb up of. So just trying to figure out if there's any other possibilities, in which is what I did. I just shouldered the door, try to figure out what else we could do. Unfortunately, they were just staying above me and holding from the left, and there's just multiple of them. So hitting out there was just pretty psychotic. So what we had to do now was just wait for two teams to fight each other and collapse to where obviously we could just take that opening and then just collapse on them and third party. What OEKIY did here was very intelligent. Instead of just climbing up the ladder straight, just going up a little bit and then going up a little bit more. Kind of confuses them a little bit, especially if there's a lot going on, because they can't really tell there's that they're getting pushed entirely. They just think we're baiting the ladder. But that was a good game. I think we played that pretty smart, other than obviously the parts where we got a little bit lost. We were obviously just enjoying ourselves and controlling a little bit, but we still ended up hitting the max SR. Unfortunately for the kills, I think the max, I don't know what the max SR is on kills, but I know the max SR that I can gain in Iridescent is 153. I think it caps around 11 to 15 kills, depending on whether you're killing higher rank players or lower rank players, because if you kill a higher rank player, you get more SR for it, but a lower rank player, you get less. It's super 50-50, but there is no benefit for getting more kills than like 11 or 15. Once you see that you've hit the max SR 4 kills, it will show bot top right. You should honestly just slow down fully or let your teammates try and get all those kills if they can. But yeah, that's it.